Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we are back with another anime review. This time, Once Upon a Witch's Death. A story about a girl named Meg Raspberry who recently turned 17, and upon doing some daily chores, her master and one of the seven sages, Miss Faust, tells her that she's got 1 year to live because she's been cursed. Seems like it maybe runs in the family or something, congenial, something along those lines. And in order to save her life, she needs to collect 1,000 tears of joy to create a seed of life in order to prevent death. And that's the basic premise. Now, when I was looking through the anime season, this initially didn't come up, but I was looking through the anime, we'll see what was airing, and I happened to see this. I didn't watch the preview or anything. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a nice feel-good story. Well, let's give it a try. And the first episode didn't disappoint. Though there were some things that are actually a bit surprising. The first bit, it is a very... I realized it was magical, but it was she was very magic, but she had a lot of animal friends. Like, she was taking care of, she loves animals. There's a lot of mythical creatures as well. The time setting was also a bit interesting. It looks like it has a more modern feel, or maybe like 1800s, maybe 1700s feel. It didn't feel very medieval or something, and it felt like more a real world rather than a fantasy world, I would say. It felt like it was, it did give an English vibe, because they did mention Japan later on, the recounting of Japan. So I'm like, oh, okay. That was another interesting bit. I did find it kind of interesting that as soon as she wakes up, her grandmother spills it on her, which, kind of makes sense given that we found out later that she's a bit of a lazy butt, which lends to maybe one of my theories what actually is going on. But she's like, yeah, you're going to die in 1 year. And to show that this actually happened, she gives her, she shows her dying. It's not an instant death upon 18. Basically, as soon as she turns 18, she actually has another month to live. So maybe that will play into into survival. That maybe within that 18 month, within that 1 month, that she might be able to survive. Yeah, the first case is about basically she's stumbling around town, and she finds this girl. She says, I need to get some flowers for my dead grandmother. There's some kind of special flowers, so she can rest in peacefully. And she's like, okay. And she meets one of her normal clients. Mr. Hendy is the person who is the husband of the father of the daughter, and then the husband of the deceased mother. And they go through the books, and they figure out exactly what kind of flower she wants. Pretty stereotypical. I'm like, okay, yeah, we get this. It's a nice, beautiful moment. But yeah, so that was essentially the first episode. It was nice. It was very beautiful looking. I do find out that the main voice actress for Meg Raspberry is actually a bit of a really good one. She is voiced by Yoshino Oyama, and her biggest role, of course, is Bocchi the Rock. So, Torigori. So, yeah, you got a pretty good voice actor. She has done some other roles, but that would say here is most notable. And given the range of expressions, everything, she's going to be able to deliver on this character. So she should be very vibrant with emotions. Hopefully we see a lot more comedic aspects aside from her doing a marriage proposal to this one girl. And yeah, she like a whole bunch of personality. She did have like a bit of a Dr. Meko vibe. She kind of gave off a little bit of that. I thought maybe they had the same voice actress, although Dr. Meko has a much seriouser tone. But she kind of gave a little bit of that vibe to her, more serious. But yeah, like I said, good episode. Now, I do want to talk about some theories, which we'll see. I would say there's about maybe 4 theories I can come up with what's going to basically happen. The first being that she does save her life, though given that she does have a month to potentially live afterwards, maybe there'll be some sort of miracle or something. The second possibility is that she fails to do so, but because of her journey throughout the year, she doesn't regret her life choices. It's like, if I were to do this, I would do it all over again. She has no regrets and passes away peacefully. There's the third and fourth option. The third option is that this could be BS, and that Faust is trying to get her to become a great mage. The little girl that she helps, she wants her to become like one of the seven sages and surpass Dr. Faust, or Professor Sage Faust. Or Sage Faust realizes that she is a lazy bum and wants her to get this way because she might be dying. So maybe she wants to collect the tears, get the tears of joy for herself. So there's multiple possibilities of what can happen. In terms of physical copies, there is the hardback, which came out last year. And I believe there's about 3 volumes of it so far. I was looking on Japan. But you can find a whole bunch of individual chapters on Amazon, so through Kindle. So a bit interesting how that's set up. But overall, it's a fun time. The cover, even I think the opening entrance, we see some hot waifus. There's gonna be definitely more tear jerking. It's gonna be a bit of a sad story, but it's a good feel sad story. The number of people that she's gonna help and everything. It was a nice opening. I don't think I got really any complaints or so. I think just the thing that I was really baffled by was that she wasn't a caretaker of a lot of different animals. I'm like, well, interesting. And then it took place in a more modern setting. I guess say even like more British setting. So like it kind of gave me a bit of a Harry Potter vibe. Kind of a Harry Potter vibe shtick to it. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't watch the preview of it. I just read the synopsis. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll try this, even though my life's going to be a bit busy with doing Fullmetal Panic pretty soon. But yeah, I think this is definitely worth checking out. I don't know if it's for every guy, what the modern guy is. I understand they might want a more masculine type. I don't mind this series. I don't mind a little good tearjerker. Maybe I'm in the mood for one. And there is some good looking waifus. This her, I did not know about her, but yeah, even Meg's pretty good looking as well. So yeah. Hey, anyway, with that, I'll end the episode here. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I'm releasing this obviously on tomorrow morning, so there's going to be the Nintendo Switch Direct, so I'm going to be watching that. But yeah, I thought give this anime a shot, and I'm glad I was able to do a review sooner than later than tomorrow. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. See you guys next time for the next anime review, which I believe, actually looking according to my schedule, will be a Rock is a Lady's Modesty, and then Yandere Elf and Mobile Suit Gundam QX, which we'll talk about when that happens. Anyway, see you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe.